Hi and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is a reaction video for the 7th episode of Season 3 of Babylon 5 called Exogenesis. You can now see the full reaction for this YouTube video on my Patreon channel. Check out the link in the description below. Last time we saw Bester visiting the station, looking for the distributor of a dangerous drug called Dust, which gave its user short-term psychic abilities, which could cause harm to people around them. Due to the knowledge that the command staff now have, they were reluctant to let Bester near them, but they used a number of Minbari psychics to block him until he took a drug that blocked his abilities whilst he was on the station. We discovered that Shakar had asked to see the distributor so that he and his people could use the drug as a weapon against the Centauri. The drug had never been tested on aliens, so Shakar tried it first and he went after Londo and physically beat him and then entered his mind, where he saw that Londo had been integral to what had happened to his people. During the attack, Shakar received vision of his father, who told him to stop and that for the sake of the greater good he needed to make a choice and stop his attack on Londo. He then saw the vision of Jaquan, who we saw to be Kosh, but Shakar believed he'd been visited by a divine being. Bester and Garibaldi captured the drug distributor. Londo received medical care, and seemingly unburdened from his grief and anger, Shakar was sentenced to some time in incarceration. As Bester was leaving, we discovered that it was the Psychops that were behind the creation of Dust in the first place. So let's see what happens in this episode. I'm going to put any relevant trivia that I find over here, and at the end of the reaction I'll be discussing what happened and my thoughts about it. And I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1.
Please remind your passengers about customs procedures prior to debarkation.
Roger that, Babylon Control. Have a nice day.
Oh, you got James Bond on there.
We're finally here, Jackie.
Who were they? Who were they and who's finally here?
Okay, we all know what we're here for.
Kat, the bartender.
David Corwin is promoted to full lieutenant.
Big thing. He seems like quite a shy guy, really. He doesn't. Yeah.
He hates being the center of attention.
Yeah, I just about to say that.
Hey, by the way, where's Marcus? I thought you were going to invite him.
That's actually quite good acting from the actor who plays the lieutenant. Because I was literally about to say the same thing, because I could see it on his face. You could see he was uncomfortable there with everyone cheering him on. That really came across in his performance. That's good.
Didn't think it was appropriate. Earhart's is for Earth Force personnel only.
Better off with Marcus keeping a low profile right now.
It would make sense not to be all seen together. It's meant to be a secret, the War Council sort of stuff, so you need to keep operations separate to that.
Don't worry, you'll be just fine.
Yeah, looks it.
Just try and relax.
Just try and relax as he's there writhing in pain. Lovely. Oh, that healed up quick. So, those are the two who are watching the shuttle arrive. They said they're here. I'm assuming they've smuggled in some kind of creature that merges with another being. I apologise, but I'm thinking kind of Trill from Star Trek. So it's merged in. Does it take over the person, or is it a symbiotic relationship? It seemed to get absorbed into the person, or entered the person. It's just the effect they used to make it look like it got absorbed in. So the creature might still be in there as it looked. And it seems to accelerate healing because all the wounds healed immediately. That's the only way that would happen, is if it accelerates the healing of the body. So yeah, what's its purpose? I can't what exogenesis means. I'll look it up, and if it's relevant I'll have information up here.
What went wrong?
I don't know.
Oh, what went wrong?
Can't just leave him.
Don't have any other choice. We can't afford to be captured.
So has he died? He's not meant to have died, obviously. Yeah, looks like he's died.
Walk with me a minute.
Oh.
It's all yours, Lieutenant.
Aye, Commander.
Ah, okay, that's interesting. So he's in charge now.
Now that Corwin's been promoted, sooner or later he's going to end up getting in our business.
He's in a higher profile job.
And I need to know where he stands. But if you don't think he's up for it, then we have to keep him out of the loop.
That's going to be hard.
Talk to him. See what you can find out without giving anything away.
Surely it'd be better to have that discussion in his office or something, a closed room, not in the hallway. Yeah, so yeah, David, I should remember that's my name. He's now what we saw. He's now in charge of the station whilst they'd gone. He's got a much higher profile role now. He's going to be involved in a lot more of the command staff level business. He's going to be noticing things that are going on. He might not know the details, but he'll see things that will confuse him and ask himself questions about what's going on. So yeah, Susan's now going to be sort of checking him out to see where his loyalties lie and whether they can trust him. They obviously trust him as an officer, but can they trust him with everything else that's going on? I say, good if they can, but what if they can't? That makes it very awkward then for everyone. Because he might not necessarily be doing anything wrong. He's doing his job. Unless he's one of the Night Watch guys, but we haven't seen him at any of the Night Watch meetings or anything, who are completely on the wrong side.
Methinks I hear a voice cry, sleep no more. Marcus does murder sleep.
You're a madman, you know.
Someone might steal them out from under your sleepy eyes.
That's not great if he's selling stuff.
Much less
I don't think I like the sound of that.
No, that doesn't sound good.
I understand there's a clinic.
Yeah, the free clinic.
I'll be fine.
We're still having a hard time getting Drazi blood for transfusion, so we're going to have to stick to the synthetics for now.
Okay. Yeah, they would have to have stocks of blood from all the different species, or the most common species that pass through the station, just in case of emergencies. But it sounds like they have synthetic blood as well. But again, from what you said then, that's a real emergency thing. They would primarily use the species blood first, and then a synthetic blood as a backup, which would make complete sense. But yeah, interesting.
Got a DOA last night. Male human, no ID, mid-30s.
So that's that man.
Dr. Morris wants you to take a look at the bodies.
So is that creature inside him? If they scan him, they're going to see it? I'm assuming yes.
Message from Ranger 1 on Mimbar. He recommends our people go in a heightened state of alert and pull back from Earth space.
That's a big thing. To pull back, everyone.
Shadow vessels. Seems they're gathering, creating a border on the edge of Centauri space.
On your next supply run, I want you to make a quick side trip through Sector 800 and drop a long-range scanner. And get out fast.
Yeah, that's a dangerous mission. So he's information gathering, he just sits there and everyone comes to him. So I'm assuming that guy's a ranger. But obviously doesn't look like it. He's undercover.
Where's Samuel?
I'll tell you what, if ever Marcus wants to quit his job as a ranger, he could always work for shampoo advertisements, because that is the fullest set of hair I've ever seen. Yeah, I can just imagine, because he's worth it.
My sources are used to having him as my liaison.
He said he had more important things to do.
Ooh.
When I first enlisted him, he said there was nothing more important than our work here. I think I'll pay him a visit.
Yeah, that's a big thing if someone says they've got more important things to do when they're doing what they're doing.
No overt signs of physical trauma.
Had to close his eyes because he couldn't keep them open for that long.
There are fingernail marks in both palms.
Ah, some way he was
Appears they were caused by
himself.
the deceased clenching his fist.
Yeah, because the stress he was under.
Neural scan, 1 anomaly. Cardiovascular.
Wait a minute.
Huh. Yeah, show the anomaly.
What the hell is that? How did this end up wrapped around his spinal column?
So it's not the creature itself.
I'm gonna open him up.
Oh, unless we see more when he's opened him up. But it seems like when it got I'm going to use the word absorbed, because that's what it looks like happened. Absorbed into the body, it
Hi, Samuel.
takes over the control of the body.
I've been busy.
Well, he doesn't seem normal, but he knew who he was. He knew it was Marcus.
I have things to do now.
What kind of things?
Yeah, they don't seem suspicious at all. Obviously, we don't know the personality of that guy. I'm assuming he's been taken over by one of those things, but we don't know what he was like before, so it's hard to say if he's changed or how much he's changed. Oh, it's his friend Duncan.
I've initiated a background check to see if this is something the deceased brought with him to the station, or if he was infested here. If it happened here, he may have a problem.
Well, if it happened elsewhere, he might have a problem. You don't know how it spreads or how he... So he spotted his friend's not there, which is going to worry him. You're up.
I like it when it's quiet. It's a nice change of pace, that's for sure.
Quiet's good on a station like that.
So I was thinking maybe we could get together. So why don't you come by my quarters later in the day? And we can just talk about stuff outside work, you know? Person to person.
He looks so awkward.
Fine.
It's not like he can say no. It's just a senior officer is telling him to basically meet up with him for a coffee. He can't say no.
See, people here get flaky sometimes. Babylon 5 is like that.
They wouldn't just drop everything and change their lives like this.
Yeah, Garibaldi sees people coming and going all the time.
Now, if your friends are acting a little weird, maybe they need to talk to a doctor.
Can I quote you?
Yeah, sure, whatever. So Mr. Garibaldi suggested that you come see me?
Technically.
Won't take more than an hour.
That sounds realistic. He didn't say something, oh, it'll only take 5 minutes, an hour. Yeah, to travel somewhere on the station, looking for things to get back. That's probably a realistic time.
I'm not sure, but I think I have a date.
She asked you out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, is she aggressive?
You can
Yeah. Yeah, you misread things. That's why he looked nervous. That kind of implies that he does like Ivanova.
That'll be 40 credits.
That sounds quite a lot, but I think they've said before flowers are tricky to get on board the station, so they are expensive, I think, to ship in.
Look, are you sure this is a good
He's
idea?
an old man. He hasn't been well. He could be sick or injured.
Well, in medical emergencies,
You can override.
But I can't just walk in, though.
Ah!
I said you couldn't go in.
He can. Yeah.
Lights.
They're out. Here.
How does he know they're out? He didn't ask for lights or push anything.
I told him. No one ever listens.
Hey. Garibaldi. God, you just go straight in. He didn't hold back or wait for backup or anything. Well, that looks like kind of cobwebs.
Jeez. Franklin just...
I would have thought he did actually make a connection. He said Franklin, and it beeped, and then he was stopped from saying any more. I would have thought that would be enough, maybe to raise something with security. If someone says something like that and then they're cut off, that I would have thought there'd be something pre-programmed that it would get flagged somewhere that the communication was started and then cut, because that would be worrying. It would certainly be enough, I think, to warrant contacting the person to make sure everything's okay and they didn't just cancel it themselves. So yeah, I would have some sort of automated system for that.
That thing under his skin? I found another one just like it during an autopsy.
You didn't, though. You just found a little bit.
Now, if there are enough of these things, they could take over the whole station before anyone knows they're here.
If that's true, then why take over lurkers? They're of no strategic value.
Numbers. It's difficult to go for somebody in a higher position. This way they can take over all the lurkers, and there's a lot of them from what we've seen. They then have numbers to take on more senior people. Actually, it does make a lot of sense. It'd be easier to get to 50 lurkers than it would the captain to start with.
For that matter, why not you or me?
Maybe they haven't had a chance to until now.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not so sure.
That's a big stretch. When the answer will be if they get that put in them now.
Whatever these creatures are, they're controlling you. You've got to let us help you.
It does seem to be controlling them. From the way they're all behaving in the same sort of way, which would imply that they don't have normal personalities.
Was Matthew Duffy.
Was.
There are 3 of them with guns against 2 of us with nothing.
All we need is for one of them to leave the room. Then there'll be only one man with a gun.
Where I come from, 1 man from 3 leaves 2.
Where I come from is a far more interesting place.
Brilliant line!
Mr. Garibaldi does know where we are.
Not as such, no.
No one knows that anything's wrong.
But that's where that connection come in. Oh, how awkward is this gonna be? Oh, and then when she says no, they work together every day. That's gonna be really awkward.
Where the hell did those come from?
There. They were just lying there.
Spending that kind of money on high-priced synthetics must be real dope.
No pain, no cough. First time in years.
So it's healed him.
I'd feel better about the recommendation if I knew which me I was talking
to. Does it matter?
Yes.
It says, you've come at a good time.
It's a merger of the personalities.
So that you can see how the process is supposed to work.
Supposed to work, yeah.
It says if you do not help us, others not suited for the merging may die if you wish to save lives. This is the only way.
Oh, that's an awkward position to put them in.
I haven't had real coffee since I can't remember.
Sometimes you gotta bend the rules a little bit in order to get what you want.
Is he going to
Does that idea
agree?
bother you?
Yeah.
No, not really. I don't think the ends always justify the means.
That's interesting. So she's starting off with a small thing. How does he feel about her growing or having coffee brought in illegally, basically? But it's a minor thing, but it's still illegal. If he's completely rigid and saying that's wrong, he's a complete by the book kind of person. They can't bring him in. So she's just teasing his morality where he is on the scale. It's a clever way of doing it.
That's why we're all here. To follow orders and do what's right for Earth. We have to respect the chain of command.
So if you saw someone trying to get other officers to speak out or even act against Earthdome, you'd report them?
Absolutely.
Ah. So he seems like a decent guy. He's just a by-the-book officer. But yeah, can't bring him on board.
One of us is sick. You, outside, now. Where are you taking him?
That lock did not sound very secure. It was a simple lock. I reckon a couple of kicks would bring that door down. But they've still got the guards there.
The only way to save him is to take that thing out of his system.
You don't know that. That was just an assumption he made. He's got no idea. He's still waiting for the scan results and all sorts. He doesn't know what it does.
Shake it twice firmly to activate the scanner.
That was his staff that he has. So you shake it, it pops open. So he was looking into it. Just flicked up and knocked him out.
Biogenetic ID comparison indicates you are not authorized.
It's the doctor's link, and they're genetically encoded to its wearer. You would have thought if somebody unauthorized used the link, that it would contact security. It would send a message to security to say that had happened. Because otherwise, where is the owner of that link if someone else is using it? That again, it's just automated checks and things that should happen.
Monica, what is it?
We just picked up someone trying to use Dr. Franklin's link.
There we go.
Did you get a fix on the location?
I thought security would have been told, not them though. Why would the command staff be told? That's more a security issue. Initially, security might tell command, but not the other way around. That's a bit weird. He's now got 2 guns. And he's not afraid to use them.
We weren't taken over. We volunteered. Once we have fulfilled our mission, we will go.
What's the mission? Yeah.
Bred to be living records Of all those we have seen, we have traveled through the galaxy in our host bodies.
We have seen double suns set on worlds so far away.
So their communal mind.
Even we die, unless we find shelter within other living beings.
Why should we believe you?
It would be hard to trust. Is the creature separating from him? Thing is, how can you still trust him? Might still be part of it in there. It's not. That wouldn't make me believe. So, these things basically just travel around looking at everything, and they just have very long memories and very long lives. So they just observe everything that's happening, but they have to be put inside a body of some kind to move. I mean, they were quite small little things, to move around and to protect themselves. They can heal the body of the host body. We've seen that. But I wonder if they prolong the life of the person as well, or extend the life of the person, because I mean, this guy Duncan's not a young guy. It's a lot of the others are. That Samuel guy's a lot younger, so obviously they get a lot longer lifespan out of him. So yeah, they just basically travel around. They find people who are desperate, basically, who have nothing to live for, and they. How do they ask them? Well, okay, so I suppose those two people that we saw find suitable hosts. But how did the first one happen? I'm assuming they don't have language skills or anything, because from what we saw as a creature, they wouldn't be able to speak as such. So I'm assuming the first one would have just taken someone and joined with someone. I suppose they might have then, when they were joined, asked if they were okay with it. Maybe they did enter someone who was dying, literally on the floor dying, and they saved them and asked them. Don't know. But yeah, it doesn't completely sit well with me. I mean, you've got no proof that these people did volunteer for this. And I say, even the fact that the creature's no longer in him, there still could be remnants around his spinal column and stuff. This isn't evidence at all.
Everything they told you. True. I saw flame birds dying on Orion 7.
So they get to see the memories.
When the books have gone and the histories have been burned,
they'll remain.
Keepers of the past, the present, and the future.
Yeah, kill them, and that's all gone.
Before I go along with this, I want complete statements by everyone involved, and no more volunteers without my approval and supervision.
It's, the pre-hosted volunteers are the only ones who can really say whether they're proper volunteers or not.
I'm sorry, Duncan.
Can they put it back?
I can't take on another one of them.
Oh, he sacrificed himself. Oh.
Everything I saw when we were joined is going away.
Oh, now he's losing the memories. Has he healed at least from his injury? From his... what was wrong with him?
If you could have seen with our eyes.
Oh, to have all that at your fingertips all of a sudden, and then for it all to be taken away. Simple shake of the head. But it's not as simple as that. That doesn't tell... telling the whole picture. It's not because he's a bad guy or anything. He's just a good officer. So that's a little bit simplistic, just the shake of the head. And I hope she explains more fully later that he seems like he's just basically a good person, but he's not right for doing what they do. So I hope that's explained properly.
I just heard you were leaving.
So he is okay.
Kinda have to, Marcus. You see, for a while there,
He's seen too much. Yeah, and then he can't just stay there now.
when we were joined, I saw things out there.
So he can have his own memories. Yeah, can't go back.
I'll come back.
No, you won't. You shouldn't. Just keep going, keep seeing things. You won't come back.
Yeah, but if they have all this knowledge, why keep it a secret?
Information is power. If anyone ever wanted to eliminate that knowledge, they'd be the first ones up against a wall.
Yeah. But if no one knows that they exist, then when they're needed, how are people going to know to ask for them? Obviously, I assume they would find the people who need to know, but it's, yeah, a bit of an odd one.
And I think that he would definitely appreciate a second chance with you, Susan.
That's it. He must have sent them.
Oh, the flowers. Ah, she thinks Marcus sent the flowers.
Keep them.
Thank you.
So he now thinks that she's giving him flowers. Well, that's quite a good episode. I liked the way they tried to find out about David's loyalties. Yeah, loyalties, I think is the right word. I was going to say allegiances, but I think it is loyalty. He is loyal to Earth. He's an officer in the military, and he does his duty, and he trusts in the chain of command. So whatever needs to be done comes down, and he just does what he's ordered to do. He's by the book military officer. Whereas all the others are involved in all this political intrigue and everything else. He doesn't get involved in all that sort of stuff. He just does his job. But yeah, the way Ivanova was asking him the questions was cleverly done. Sound him out about a few things first, and then see how he answers that, and she could see where his loyalties lie. But so it's not necessarily a bad thing. It isn't obviously in this situation because the people giving the orders might not be the right, good people, but I think he is. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And yeah, these creatures, clever idea. It's not, don't know. I think it's another one of those things I need to have a think about how it all was explained and think it all through a bit. They said that they were dying off. I'm assuming. No, I don't know. Need to have a think about it. But an interesting idea. Just what they're going to do though. They can't all stay there because if the station is destroyed, then they're all dead. All the knowledge is gone. The only way they could really work is to spread out. They can't stay in one place like that. They would have to all spread out all over the galaxy, basically. It's the only way, decentralized. That's the only way it could work. And where do they come from? Are there a limited number of them? Or do they reproduce the actual creature itself? From what they said, I got the feeling there's a fixed number of them, and that's it. Just the feeling I've got. So once they're in someone, that's it. So yeah, they could get killed off. Yeah, don't know. Lots to think about with that. Yeah, interesting. It was one of those episodes that didn't move the story along too much, but it was just a nice, give you lots of little bits of information, and it was interesting. And it was quite funny as well in some places. So yeah, good episode. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and I shall see you for the next one. Be seeing you.